Hello, everyone, and welcome to your weekly dose of Truth Tarot. I'm Terry Ann Nikitas, and I love looking at the energies for the week, for the planets, so I know where I can support myself and support those around me. So today I've got around me bird on my shoulder, very quiet, just hanging out because I'm taking care of the dog that belongs to my sister. Her name is Lake, and she's sitting over there. I don't know if you can kind of see her over there. Oops. I'm careful to move the camera because we don't want to get. Oh, there's Lakey. There she is. Very quiet. So everyone's quiet while we're going to do the tarot reading for today. So let's get things going. And Bert's trying to come down to my finger here so he could be in the recording. Here he is. There we go. Well, he's flying around. So we'll see. He doesn't like nail polish. Went to a wedding event this weekend and I have nail polish on. So let's shrink this up a bit so we can see all the cards. I need to see them so I'm able to work with them. And our question this week is, what door is opening that people may be too distracted to notice? This is for the week of August 14th to the 20th. So what door is opening that people are too occupied to notice? All right. So let's see what's going on. Should we pull this one? I feel like digging. Let's dig. Let's dig right to the bottom. And here we go. Well, that's a great card to let us know that there are things we don't notice because we are kind of behind the moon, let's say. So the moon is what obscures things. It's nighttime. It's when we sleep. We can get obviously headaches and all kinds of things that bother us. We just had, let me just look at where it was. It was on Tuesday, I think, maybe Wednesday. Let me look at this here. We had it was on Wednesday was the new moon. So we're definitely moving into a period where we're going to have an increase, let's say, in energy, increase in releasing, increase in whatever it is that you would like to see happen. So that can also be a bit negative in as much as the moon can help or increase our obfuscation or obscuring or blinding us to what would be an open door. So this is a good time to use the moon as because the moon is feminine, and we could use it to increase our whether it's psychic, intuitive capacities to see where we need to find openings. So that's one thing. So already I'm feeling into, well, this week, if I need to have an opening somewhere for whatever it is, whether it's work, whether it's relationship, whether it's family, whether it's these cutie pie animals that I have that are constantly asking for different things with their little faces, and sometimes you don't know what it is. In this case, he just tilts his head and wants tickles. So they either want, I'm the tickle person and my partner is the food person. He's always giving food and occupied with different, he loves the barbecue, etc. So doing all of that. So sometimes it's super, my point being to telling you that is that it's super obvious what an animal might want, and there are times where it's not as obvious. So that's going to be the same in our lives, for opportunities, and with other individuals. So use the moon this week to your advantage by allowing silence, darkness, the quiet to help you see what you cannot see. Let's see what else the cards want to tell us about this. What's this one? Right. So there are changes presently occurring. So this is right here, right now. Now, because our readings are for a week, we know that I've put that into the reading, so it's talking about the presence occurring throughout this week. That's from the 14th to the 20th. So the moon is going to be influential, circulating or circumambulating the transformations, the changes that we need or that we want to have happen, whether that's because it's a coin, it often refers to something in the physical world. So it can be a change of health, it can be a change in work, it can be a change in location, anything very, very physical. So, obviously we want changes in health to be positive. So we want to look in that direction to see what would be positive. If there are changes going, there's not a prediction. This is what we're too distracted to notice. We may be too, that door is opening. So it's an open door to what would be better for us. Okay, with some advantages. This is what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at what are the openings that are, warning us. I am not doing that. Okay, I could do that another time. You can request it. Right now, we're looking at advantages. So, where can I get my health to be a lot better? What are those openings? So, it's saying, well, be intuitive, go silent, find out what you need. And, I agree with that actually. I agree with the cards. When I'm noisy, meaning I've got a lot of things to do, I'm running around, I may not eat things that are as good for me as when I'm a little bit more in my masculine, meaning everything is organized. So it's always this fine balance between organizing and then the messiness of the feminine. So let's see what our third card says. Well, there you go. So I was mentioning quiet. I'm mentioning not so noisy. So peace is what I always do this in reverse because the camera's in reverse. So if we're looking at, this is the first card, second card we pulled, and third card. And it's just telling us, all right, so we need to end up in a peaceful place. To really listen to our intuition and to be able to see those doors. So, it's a little bit on the nose, I would say. The question is, what door is opening that people may be too distracted to notice? And it's talking about, well, there are a lot of doors to change. So that door is marked with change. So, of course, because this is for the world, it could be change in your relationship. It could be change in your health. It can be change in your work. It can be change in your location in the world. It could be a change of how you feel about things. Maybe you were depressed and you're ready to come out of it. So the distraction is that change is available to us. It's available to see as long as we are, here's what we're too distracted to notice, is our intuition and the moon. The moon is intuition, darkness, but also where we need to be at peace and quiet. And I know that it's really hard when you're an urbanite to go quiet. Out in the country or different areas of the world are a lot slower and quieter, or you may have constructed your life that way. But for many of us, if you think of billions of people on the planet, if I think of India, if I think of big cities that contain the majority of the population, we are going to have a lot of noise, right? We're going to have a lot of energy moving. We're going to constantly be doing many things. Like I have two parents that I need to go to. They live in separate homes. Now I'm taking care of two animals. I have my own partner to think about, and then I have myself, and then I have my work, and then I have blah, 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 blah. And it becomes a lot. So I know most of you experience life the same way as I do, if not even more. I don't even have kids, Those of you who have kids, you might feel that even more of that busyness. So it's a good time to slow down and quiet. And by the way, slowing down and quieting just requires shifting the schedules. Just shifting, what you think is important. Like I had to drop a few things to do these other things. I've dropped a bit of work. I've dropped, certain things that are good for me, like because I know this is temporary, but I'm not able to get it all together so I can do all my exercise in the morning. So I try to do throughout the day one little exercise here and there, or I do it later on in the evening, which is often rather difficult because we always have a reason. Okay, I'm just bringing that up because you may have your own reasons, but it's just finding ways to also take care of yourself, even if it wasn't the way you did last week or the week before. So there you go, just giving you some ideas to be able to quiet things down and listen to your intuition. All right, have a great week. Please like, share, and subscribe so I can do a lot more of these. Maybe one day we could have people come on and we work together, but that would require a lot more help from all of you, like liking, sharing, subscribing, so I can just sort of break into maybe the market. I know that my videos are not what most people want to hear. People want to hear very shocking, uh, you know, big, like maybe actors and actresses and politicians, etc. I like to work more with what is going to support us on a daily basis, not looking at this stuff that is shock value. And I know it's not going to be popular. It doesn't have to be super popular, but at least get the people who really want to work on what their issues are and make your life better rather than, the shock value. But, I'm not asking everyone to be here, just asking those who are interested in looking at, hey, if you see this change card, it's telling you change is afoot. That's the door that's open. So you need to use your intuition. You need to be more peaceful. I've given you some ideas. It might not be a good one for you. I'm not saying it is, but something to help you become a little bit more creative and find solutions. Because we do get tired because of all the noise going on. And hopefully we can all quiet down. I have a lot of noise too, and I find it really, really difficult as well. But I work really hard at creating that quiet. All right, take care, have a great day, and see you next week. Bye.